Nightfall in Minneapolis in December usually spells freezing temps, and that is precisely the case outside these walls. But we are a comfortable 72 degrees inside U.S. Bank Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This will be taken short. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
So first and 10 now from the 30.
So don't say nothing. One, Omaha. Mississippi Creek. Hey, box truck.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8.
Hey, alert.
On second down, a run with Breida. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
White.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
That's the way. Listen to me. 35. Hey, orbit. Let's put that team on the front. 35's the mic.
On second and 9, Cousins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kwan Williams. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. On first down, here's Breida. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Garoppolo gives to Breida. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That one, a first down pickup of 8. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Garoppolo. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Vernon Butler. Credit him with a sack. And it goes as a loss of 6.
A loss of 6 yards on the sack. It's second down.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
65.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And the pressure gets to him again. Anthony Barr has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one's...
And a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They start the drive with Cook. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. 56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56.
They run again on 1st down, Cook. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Check it out, Reed. Hey, 382, last 50.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Meanwhile, here, a run on 1st down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage.
The tackle made back at the 39-yard line.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
At their own 42-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. There's Garoppolo to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Vernon Butler. His 2nd sack of the night.
A loss of 8 yards on the sack. And it's 3rd down.
That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. He rifles one that's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll run with Cook. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. We're scoreless after 1. Second and goal from inside the 5.
Watch the slap, watch the slap, watch the slap.
They try again with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook, touchdown number 15 of the year. As his guys are on the board first here tonight. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken very short. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. There he goes left side. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida, his 11th touchdown of the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, Good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Back to you. I'm going back to you.
Now Cook running right. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd.
It's a gain of 6.
Haywood.
Makes it 3rd and 4.
Now Cousins. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Switch it. Come here, switch it.
They go counter with Breida. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
13.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ben Gideon in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Garoppolo now. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Anthony Barr in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long.
White.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo under pressure again, and down he goes again.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And taken right at the 35. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On the carry, it's Cook. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On 2nd down, Cook, a little juke. Cook able to escape. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Check. X3, 218, chop. Twist.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Now a give running right, it's Cook. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
No. 6-6, pull it high. Check 24, watch 24. Out. 2. Mike's 56.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
Right there, 56.
They'll run for it with Cook. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. The San Francisco defense trying to hold tough again. This is 3rd and goal.
56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
We're going.
They'll try to run this one in. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. A field goal would break the tie, but look at this. Instead, they're going to go for it on 4th and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken short. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They go play action here on first down. Going deep for Diggs. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Tight down. There you go.
They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around. The line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. It's now 4th down.
So Garoppolo off. Coming on is the veteran Robbie Gould for the 49er field goal. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. 35's the Mike. He can't hang. Hey, Zoo. He's not going to get me. Mike 35. Mike 35. I'm coming.
To throw, Cousins. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Solomon Thomas, they'd love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
Wide. 35's the Mike. Hey, we heavy on the edges. Heavy on the edges. Hey, Delta.
3rd and long for Cousins. And he's going to go down again. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so...
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
At the 41-yard line.
Here we go, let's bring it.
First down, here's the run with Cook. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Again, it's Cook. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Single.
Hey, wahoo!
Mike 35. Here we go, D.
Hey, no, easy.
It's just me and you. 35's the Mike.
Hey, seam 6.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Yeah, that's what I do. Hey, alert three. Say.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook. Oh, he sheds himself free. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 3 here in this game and 17 now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken very short. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
11.
Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. Escaping the pressure, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Everson Griffin make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
They'll look to set up his blockers. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Gun.
They run it again with Cook. Cook stripped, the ball's out, and now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet there are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. So that flag will cost them 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Go.
Check 59, Mike.
Now Garoppolo. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Vernon Butler in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Here we go.
Alert 3. 55's Mike, guys, 55. Longer job. Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. Come on, D. Switch.
1, Omaha.
Twist. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Big Ed, big Ed, big Ed. Check it.
Garoppolo looks to throw. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
First down.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180! 11, 11.
Now it's Breida. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
17-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. 180!
They run again with Breida, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down.
Here we go. 180!
59. Watch QB jump. Watch QB jump.
13, 13.
He's got
11, 11, 11, 11.
To throw is Garoppolo. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Alert! Alert! Alert!
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Matt Breida, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. Now Gold for the extra point. And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game.
Makes the score Vikings 21, 49ers 17.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go. Do it.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9.
Hey, Jim!
Jim. Kill.
General West!
Kill.
First!
Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. 22 yards there, a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, he figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. The Pro Bowl corner, Jason Verrett, on the tackle. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cook. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. 5. Mike 35. Mike.
Gun.
Throwing his Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 34-yard line.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Leave it. Bring up 48.
SOS. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Greystone, travel. Gun.
Banjo.
Now a give, right side. Cook. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. Now a timeout coming in here defensively as they stop it before the 2-minute warning with 2:09 to go in the game. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cook. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter.
Hey, Charlie. Gun.
Cousins now. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
Crunch. Check 31.
You draw Parker.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
Here we go. 180.
They'll look to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 14. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. Garoppolo to throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And that disastrous play, partner, is ultimately going to seal their fate in this one, isn't it?
It certainly is, because they give up the 2 points, but that's not really what did it. It's having to give up the football. And because they gave up the football, guess what? The other team now can take the ball and close this game out.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Taken in at the 11.
Come on now, let's go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs.
Mike, 180. You got nothing to run. You got nothing.
Cousins just going to take this one down to a knee and end it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour and something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception, and we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one. So for Minnesota, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll get a chance